YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel, man. So look, man, I made a video on them last week or so called what if we kicked Earth out of the solar system, and it was a real crazy concept, and it was real fun to watch, and it was real interesting to watch, right? So then I saw again they back on the trending, bro. I don't know if every video I upload go on trending, but they talking what if we nuke the moon. Like, first of all, y'all ain't gonna touch the moon, bro. Don't even touch the moon, bro, because that's the only way we get light at night, bro. So like, stop tripping. The moon gonna be there and we not gonna nuke it. But if they did nuke it, I would be interested to see what'll actually happen. That'd be so crazy though if they did nuke it. Like, if we ain't had no moon, like, it'll be so dark at night, bro. It'll be ridiculous. Other than that though, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below on the way to 1500. Other than that though, let's get straight into it.
What would happen if we were to detonate a very, very powerful nuclear weapon on the moon? Would the explosion knock its orbit?
Hold up, bro.
Very, very powerful nuke.
That actually would be how big the nuke would be compared to the moon, like, cause y'all know like a nuke ain't gonna, like, one nuke on the Earth ain't gonna kill the whole Earth. It's just gonna get a big part, but that's how it be. We chilling.
Nuclear weapon on the moon. Would the explosion knock its orbit towards Earth, causing tidal waves and misery? Could the moon be destroyed, showering the Earth?
Bro, that's another thing too, bro. The moon. So like, the closer you are to the moon, the bigger the waves is. So like, that's why waves in Hawaii, that's why they're humongous, and that's why surfers love to go there, because the moon is closer there and it's pulling more strength, right? Where I live at in Florida, man, the waves is nothing but like, let's see how big a foot is. The waves be like a foot and a half, you know. So they're not that big because we're not the closest to the moon. But like in Hawaii, big waves, bro. So like if the okay, all right. If the moon got close to the Earth, bro, we would have waves so big every day it'll be tsunamis, bro. Every day.
In a rain of meteoric death. During the Cold War, the moon was a major target for space exploration and, you know, military bases. So, the US Air Force commissioned a serious study into the effects of a nuclear detonation on the surface of the moon. But just quoting stuff is boring, so let's conduct a very important scientific experiment with an imaginary 100 megaton thermonuclear warhead about twice as powerful as the most powerful bomb ever detonated. We'll also place a number of curious astronauts around the moon as observers. Let's push the button and slow down time. For the first few milliseconds, nothing much happens outside our weapon. Meanwhile, inside, high explosives send a shockwave to a radioactive metal core, compressing it so much that it reaches criticality and starts a nuclear fission chain reaction. The 100 million degree plasma created in this first stage sets off the second stage with atomic nuclei fusing like they do in the core of a star. Very briefly, our weapon contains one of the hottest places in the universe. And only now, barely 10 milliseconds later, does the rest of the universe find out that anything has happened, as suddenly the bomb dissolves and a flaming star of nuclear death is born.
Like, see, like, if that happened, right? Especially at nighttime, holy crap. So like in the daytime, it'll be like, oh, there's another sun in the sky, blah blah blah. But at freaking nighttime though, let me tell you guys, listen to me now. At nighttime, bro, it'll be like a bright sun, and you'll really know what's going on, bro. You really know what's going on, bro.
So far, so good. But everything that happens now is very different from what we're used to on Earth because of one major difference. There's no atmosphere. As the fireball shines, it releases a flash of X-rays and thermal photons, a wave of silent heat which rushes outwards in all directions. On Earth, this heat would char and burn everything within a 50-kilometer radius at least. But on the moon, without an atmosphere and oxygen-rich air, there's no burning at all. Also, there are no things to burn. The crunchy topsoil of the moon is made from silicate rock and metals chewed to dust by eons of meteorite impacts mixed with tiny traces of water. When heated by the explosion, X-rays from the fireball vaporize a thin cloud of rock from the lunar surface, while the unlucky dust that's inside the fireball melts into glass. Any astronauts watching the show within about 50 kilometers can expect to be fried. And now we begin to see one of the...
Are you serious? You serious right now? That's so scary. That's scary, bro.
The biggest differences between explosions in space and on Earth. On Earth, the atmosphere fights back against the plasma bubble. Its expansion is violently stopped within moments by the pressure of the atmosphere. But this is not good news. As the fireball rams the atmosphere, it produces the most destructive part of a nuclear explosion on Earth, the shock wave. Compressed air around the explosion rushes out faster than the speed of sound, shattering buildings and
did y'all see that? Okay, it was like they said it was a terrorist attack over there in what was that? It was like that place but just turned out it wasn't a terrorist attack. They just stored a bunch of like explosives there or something, and they didn't pack them right, and that's why it went off. But bro, that thing went boop, and then like the wind was just so strong. No matter if you live like 100 miles away, you still felt it, bro. And that's a long ways away. It's crazy. It blows my mind, bro. It blows my mind.
Roaring so loud it ruptures organs.
Ain't no way.
But on the moon there is no shockwave.
I believe it though.
No atmosphere means nothing to impede the expanding explosion in space. On the moon, the fireball just grows in eerie silence as there's no atmosphere to stop it or to give it a voice. This would be an amazing thing to watch from a safe distance. Unfortunately, there's hardly any safe viewing distance for a nuclear explosion on the moon. Without an atmosphere weakening the deadly ionizing radiation that can scramble DNA, anyone close enough to get a good look will be exposed to fatal amounts of radiation. But of course, that's not all. While all of this happens, the explosion hammers against the moon, transferring about 1/10 of the explosion energy into seismic waves, powering an intense moonquake. The moon is much smaller than the Earth, and our astronauts will feel an inescapable violent shaking no matter where they're standing. Comparable to an earthquake of 7...
Bruh, that man got them in there like just bubbling around like they in a freaking bowl. Listen here, people. Listen here. This is a serious topic, bro. And I'm so glad I reacted to the last one, bro, because Earth is one thing, but out there in space, bro, it is so scary. It's ridiculous. Like I told you guys in my last video, just please, if you never listen to anything I ever say on my channel, watch the movie Interstellar with I forgot his name. Watch that jump, bro. 2014, best movie all time.
7 on the Richter scale, this shaking could seriously damage or even level infrastructure we might have built anywhere on the moon. Those who hit on the far side of the moon would have no idea it was an explosion. The quaking would feel like an asteroid the size of the Great Pyramid had struck. And it's not over yet. Where our bomb explodes, the ground splatters like water when a rock strikes a pond. As the explosion pushes against the surface, it may excavate as much as 100 million cubic meters of dust and rock, forming a crater 1 kilometer across, while bedrock is pulverized to rubble. Debris is shot into the sky in every direction. Again, without an atmosphere, there's no drag to slow any of it down. Much of the debris
I feel like okay, look at all that. That's all rocket stuff. I feel like all that right there would form a whole another asteroid belt. It wouldn't even form a belt because you need gravity to form that belt. I'm putting y'all on some game here. That'd be so scary, man. We'll just start getting hit all the way from Earth. Like if it hits on the Earth side, so like Earth here, moon here, if it hits on the side that's facing the Earth, we would get hit like crazy, like boom, boop, 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 boop. But if it hits like the other side, it'll go back into Earth, but it's still crazy.
That it never returns to the...
Matter of fact, if it hits on the opposite side and that nuclear bomb hits and then boom, explodes and then pushes it out of orbit straight to Earth, okay, pushes it out of orbit like that, we headed in the moon's direction and we're done for, bro. I mean, not the moon, we're heading in the sun's direction. We're done for. Like, we would heat up and die. Heat up, die. Heat up, die. We'll get so hot, we'll just die.
The moon flying off faster than escape velocity. A flurry of micrometeorites have been cast off to explore the solar system, many of which will rain down on the Earth, though few will be larger than pebbles.
I'm too smart.
Any satellite, astronaut, or space station in the way, though.
I used to work for NASA.
Micrometeorites are launched at many speeds and angles, allowing them to spread all over the surface of the moon. Like bullets, they'll punch through our curious astronauts no matter where they stand. Finally, like bullets, they'll punch
Bro, look at the sound he did for him,
through
bro.
our curious astronauts no matter where they stand. Finally, our
Chill out.
explosion comes to an end. On Earth, the fireball rises like a hot air balloon, forming a sort of stalk. As it reaches up, cooler air is drawn in around it, rounding the top into a mushroom cloud. But on the Moon, well, you know by now, no atmosphere, no mushroom. The larger the plasma gets, the cooler it becomes, and the less energy it has to make interesting or terrifying things happen. Within seconds of pulling the trigger, the bubble reddens and fades from view. It would be visible from the Earth like a star flickering to life, only to fade out right away. A spark and then nothing. As the cloud of tiny debris reaches far above the surface of the Moon, it's illuminated by the sun for a few minutes, giving it an eerie beauty for anyone left to observe the spectacle. What about the Moon's orbit? It's basically unchanged. Trying to move the Moon with a nuke is like trying to move a truck by blowing on it.
Okay.
Nuclear explosions may be big, but space is bigger. Our mighty explosion just leaves another crater, one among
For real?
millions. Still, anyone on the Moon will continue to not enjoy themselves. The material that ends up raining back to the Moon is radioactive, and without any natural processes to wash it away or bury it, the surface of the Moon will remain contaminated. Although fortunately the worst of the radiation will have decayed to a level comparable to natural levels from cosmic rays in about a year. In conclusion, we can say with confidence that while the Moon itself does not care about being nuked, and will barely notice, using the Moon as a nuclear test ground kind of ruins it for everyone trying to spend some time there or to build something useful. So maybe we should just not do that. This
100%.
was our last video of the year 12,000.
Hey, I can't even lie, bro. I can't even lie, bro. I'm gonna react to every single video this guy makes, bro, because this is interesting to me. Like I said, go watch Interstellar and you'll be hooked on learning about space on there because it is such a crazy concept movie. And I'm putting you guys on some game here. Please go watch Interstellar. This is not an ad for me. I only get like 10 views a video. This is not an ad. Just go watch it, bro. If you guys did enjoy the reaction, make sure you guys hit that like button down below. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button on the way to 1500-1500. Thank you guys for all the support. Love you guys, man. It's me, Quality Camera. I'm out this thing. Peace out. Love you guys.